President Trump said,
"They've come a long way. The question is whether or not they're going to go far enough."
Warning them to, quote, get smart soon and agree to a deal that ends its nuclear weapons program.
Fox's Brian Yennis in Tel Aviv.
Axios reports the president is set to be briefed this morning on military options. Quote, CENTCOM has prepared a plan for a short and powerful wave of strikes on Iran, likely including infrastructure targets, in hopes of breaking the negotiating deadlock.
Now, oil prices are down a little this morning, but they've surged this week, and so is gas. The price at the pump up another 8 cents today. AAA's national average for regular $4.30 per gallon. That's up 19 cents since Monday. Now an update on the White House Correspondents' Dinner attack. Sources are telling Fox News the bullet that struck a Secret Service officer in his vest did come from the suspect's shotgun, not friendly fire. Cole Allen returns to court today for another hearing. He's charged with attempting to assassinate the president. They voted late last night in the House to approve a Senate process to fund immigration enforcement, getting around Democrats who've been holding up that money.
It allows congressional committees to start drafting legislation for it that could then be passed through the budget reconciliation process with no support needed from Democrats. The House is also sitting on a separate bill passed by the Senate last month to fund the rest of Homeland Security, and Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen warns money for those employees runs out next week.
That's Chris Foster. America's listening to Fox News.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
As the U.S. considers restarting the bombing in the Iran conflict, War Secretary Pete Hegseth will spar with more lawmakers this morning, defending the U.S. action and a big proposed increase in the military budget.
Often defiant during questioning from Democrats on the House Armed Services Committee, Secretary Pete Hegseth defended the war aims of Operation Epic Fury 2 months into the conflict.
I know the American people support that mission, despite your loose talk and words like quagmire.
Hegseth says military action will force the regime to make a better nuclear deal than any previous president has secured. The Pentagon's acting comptroller told lawmakers the war in Iran has so far cost about $25 billion. Hegseth returns to Capitol Hill today for a hearing with senators. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising up more than 200 points for the Dow ahead of a key report on the economy later this hour, expected to show more growth to start the year with a predicted increase in the GDP in the first quarter. But there is concern.
Inflation has moved up and is elevated, in part reflecting the recent increase in global energy prices.
Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, after the Fed decided not to cut interest rates again, there hasn't been a cut all year. Powell will be replaced as Fed chair when his term ends in May. In the NBA playoffs, the top seed in the East avoids elimination. The Detroit Pistons beat Orlando 116-109, but the Magic still lead that series 3-2. Houston also stays alive, beating LA 99-93, forcing a Game 6 with the Lakers. The Cleveland Cavaliers beat Toronto 125-120 to go up 3-2. On the ice, double overtime drama.
Vegas off ice, an aggressive stance. Steal by Howden. Score!
Brett Howden won it for Vegas on TNT. The Golden Knights beat the Utah Mammoth 5-4 to go up 3-2. The Philadelphia Flyers also scored in OT to beat and eliminate the Pittsburgh Penguins. Montreal topped Tampa Bay 3-2 to go up 3-2 in the series. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Thursday. It is April 30th, 2026, and you're listening to the Valley's Morning News. It's News Radio for South Texas. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, and we have Jason Caterina, meteorologist from AccuWeather, on standby. Got a couple more days of heat and got a cool front on the way. How big of a change might that be? Any rain with that cold front? Jason will join us in about 3 minutes, so stick around for that conversation. Meantime, the U.S. State Department issuing an advisory for folks in the Valley, folks in Texas, any travelers, even government employees that need to go to Reynosa on a regular basis, that try to avoid as much travel as possible to Reynosa.
The American consulate in Brownsville is warning government employees and U.S. citizens not to travel across the border into the Mexican state of Tamaulipas for fear of heightened criminal activity. State Department officials say armed criminal groups are increasingly patrolling the area just across the border from Brownsville and McAllen, Texas. They've issued a level 4 advisory for, quote, terrorism, crime, and kidnapping, following reports of increased activity of cartels or gangs, including impromptu roadblocks that are overwhelming the abilities of local law enforcement there.
That's reporter Bill McLean. Other Mexico-related news, the U.S. accusing the governor of the Mexican state of Sinaloa of conspiring with the drug cartel there. A federal grand jury indicted Mexican Governor Ruben Rocha Moya and 9 others on drug trafficking and weapons charges, accused of helping a faction of the Sinaloa cartel. 7 minutes after the hour on the Valley's Morning News. The Farm Bill makes it out of an important committee on Capitol Hill and is now headed for all lawmakers to consider.
The House Rules Committee passed a rule in support of sending the Farm Bill to the House on a vote of 9-4. The vote also dealt with the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act and funding Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Border Patrol. Regarding the Farm Bill, lawmakers are still divided over a provision to allow the year-round sale of E15 ethanol fuel, which is produced from corn. More than 30 state biofuel and agriculture organizations sent a letter to Speaker of the House Mike Johnson in support of the year-round sale. That group includes the Texas Corn Growers Association and the Texas Grain Sorghum Association. The full House could take up discussion on the Farm Bill, Surveillance Act, and Border Patrol funding as soon as today.
That is Stephen Pickering. A huge decision at the U.S. Supreme Court and might give Republicans an advantage in the South. The U.S. Supreme Court ruling yesterday on redistricting could boost Republican chances in Texas and many southern states. The justices blocked Louisiana's effort to create a second black majority district. The ruling will make it more difficult to challenge political maps of any state based on race. It's 8 minutes after the hour on the Valley's Morning News. And Mother's Day is coming up May 10th. And we'll take a look at how much we might be spending here pretty soon. We'll talk about that right after AccuWeather. It is AccuWeather time, and big thank you to Dougie and all the gang over at Martin Farm and Ranch. For your pet, Purina is the best. And you will find the Purina nutrition at Martin Farm and Ranch. For livestock, exotics, Martin Farm and Ranch. You stop by, say hi to Dougie from us. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina is joining us, and we got a couple more days of some heat.
Mm-hmm.
So, status report on the cold, cool front. What, Friday evening, Saturday? What
it still looks like it's going to be Friday night for us here into Saturday. So mid and upper 90s today, tomorrow, and then a couple of evening showers on a thunderstorm tomorrow night. Down into the low and mid 60s, that nice north breeze, 12 to 25 miles an hour. And then Saturday, breezy to start, mainly cloudy and less humid. We're upper 70s near 80. Still a strong north wind during the day on Saturday, too.
Okay.
Near 80 again Sunday. Should be a nice day.
Well, what do you think, man? How much rain could we squeeze out of the sky on Friday, Saturday? Inch, 2? Well, like what? What do the computers tell you as far as the amount of rain, chances of rain, all that?
It's looking like not like a ton, I mean, this could come down heavily, though. It just really depends on what happens with that front as far as, bringing us some good action. Off to the north, it does look like it is going to be quite a bit heavier for us, but certainly the opportunity is there for pretty good rain. We'll take a look at it. I'll give you a better report next hour.
Sure, no problem. Being on the tail end of a system like this, it usually lingers. You know what I mean? It's like it'll park nearby or park in the Gulf or over us, and then generate a little bit of consistent light rain, or maybe some. Being this crazy time of the year, you just never know. We'll get some really nasty stuff, just like they do up in Central Texas or in San Antonio. So the Acura,
it looks a little more progressive for us, though. There's a big high following it, so it's kind of forcing it offshore as we had in the Saturday morning. It'll be very progressive.
They'll push all that cooler air in for a couple of days, so enjoy in the 70s. AccuWeather, Jason Caterina, the gang, they're calling for highs in the 70s on Saturday as a result of the cool front. That's nice. I'm guessing, 50s overnight, Saturday night to Sunday, or only
excuse me, sorry. It's like low 60s mostly. The pollen here is so bad right now. Oh my gosh.
Up where you are right now, upstate New York.
Yeah, all the trees have budded out. Like the last 2 days have been horrible for me.
Yeah, Zyrtec.
I dug into the medicine cabinet and found it. Yeah, no, I've been pounding that twice a day.
All right, Phil. So the Acura, the forecast today should be in the 90s, low to mid 90s.
Humid too, so it's going to kick that up. The feels like temperature, certainly higher.
Sure. Same thing for tomorrow. Man, we got such a long list of national days today. Let me see what's edible today, real quick. The oatmeal cookies. It's National Oatmeal Cookie Day, and raisins would be part of that. The ingredients. So it's National Raisins Day, National Oatmeal Cookies Day. And that's it for food. We'll talk about other stuff next hour. Thank you, Jason.
Right.
That's AccuWeather Arena on 710 KURV. Coming up at about 16 minutes after the hour, I got a buddy of mine who's a tech nerd, he and I are polar opposites when it comes to political point of view, but this guy does the community. And I would say all the techs, everybody does a great favor. He has produced an app, very useful app that will show you who has voted in your neighborhood, who has voted in your community. And now being election time, Saturday is election day. We got McAllen ISD, Sharon ISD, a lot of other entities, school entities and cities that are conducting local elections. Saturday, May 2nd. Who has voted? Who voted already? So we'll talk about that app and what you could do with that information, some of the history related to all previous elections that are relevant to the present conversation when it comes to bond issues and other local issues. That's coming up. Drew Lentz a recent conversation I had with my friend Drew Lentz. That's coming up at about 16 minutes after the hour. And Mother's Day is coming up May 10th. And yes, we're all going to happily open up our wallets for that.
The average person is expected to spend about $250 this year, mostly on flowers, brunch, and things Mom will insist she absolutely loves, even if she has no idea what it is. Nationwide spending could top $30 billion, which just proves one thing. When it comes to Mom, we don't mind going big. Although most moms insist they really don't need a thing, they really do love macaroni art.
No,
I'm Monica Nelson.
No, don't believe that. You got to remember that. But this year, it's May 10th, Freddie. What does that mean? Mexican moms, Días de Mayo, May 10th. Sunday, May 10th, right? So the Mexican moms that live in America, so they expect double gifts on that day for the, Dia de las Madres and Mother's Day. So you got to get twice as much on that Sunday. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Have your neighbors voted yet? Because you did, right? You voted, right? Local elections, the school bond issues, all that. You voted. So did your neighbors vote? There is an app for that. My nerd friend, Drew Lentz, will talk about that next on 710 KURV.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. Try the all-new energy refreshers, Strawberry Yakai, Mango Dragon Fruit, or the all-new Mango Strawberry. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
On May 2nd, vote yes on Proposition A. Vote yes on repairs, upgrades, more teaching facilities, more security for our kids at McAllen ISD with no tax rate increase. Local attorney Jesse Barba.
Competition is wonderful. Let us compete on equal playing fields. Give us the funds to maintain buildings. Let us repair the roofs, put up the facilities we need so that we can compete with other programs. I have no problem with competition. McAllen has just landed a from France coming in. There will be a subcontractor for the automobile industry. It will be high-tech jobs. That requires education. You don't need to be sending a signal to international companies telling them that we need less education and we're not investing in our system. We want to compete and we want to show them that we can. We're every bit as intelligent as the people in Austin, Dallas, and Houston. It's the education to do it. Your tax rate will not increase. This is wonderful for the community.
Early vote is April 20th through the 28th. Election day is Saturday, May 2nd.
Paid for by Rosalinda Aguirre.
Tune in for the Michael Berry Show, weeknights starting at 6 on News Talk 710 KURV, KURV.com, and on the Radio Polemy app.
Thank you for making us a part of your morning. We invite you to join us on 710 KURV, YouTube, X, Facebook. We do the live programming at 7. Of course, it's there for you to rewind and go check some of the day's news as well. News Talk 710 KURV is your station for Astros baseball. Astros have a doubleheader today, so I don't know how much baseball we get to broadcast for that. They face the Red Sox starting tomorrow. Astros baseball on 710 KURV, made possible by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
My guest this morning is a dude I really love. I have compassion for the error of his ways, and I pray to Jesus that somehow he enlighten him one of these days. As far right as I am on the political spectrum, I love this dude. He's on the other side. I can't even see him. He's so far away on the other side of the political Grand Canyon. My friend Drew Lentz.
What's up, Serge?
And he's here because there's a website that you need to know about. And I was laughing about this at the beginning because I had forgotten the name of this website. But you should consider maybe changing up the name a little bit to get, some civic-minded, active conservatives on there. The name is kind of sus. Politiquera.com. Politiquera.com. It's not like where you go to find a politiquera or find some of these employees. No, it's actually because Drew Lentz he's a nerd.
Yep.
Software, and I love Drew in that part because he's been passionate about making sure that our huercos, our kids, they learn coding. And are you still doing the whole coding thing?
No, that's a whole separate. Yes and no. It's more. Everything's evolved into AI now, so that's a whole different. It's a whole different thing.
So how are you paying the bills these days, man? What are you doing? Yeah.
I mean, I've got a full-time job.
Okay.
I work for a small bookstore out of Seattle. And do a lot
called Amazon, maybe? No.
Maybe. Do a lot of Wi-Fi stuff.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
But what I started with CodeRGV, this whole thing, the Politiquera.com thing, started when I was still with CodeRGV because we had an exercise called the National Day of Civic Hacking.
Okay.
And what we did is we figured out ways that we could use data to help our local communities. And so we brought in all these different projects. And one of the things that came out of it with Mr. Mauricio, with Mo down in Brownsville, is tracking how people in different school districts and employees of school districts vote. And if they're voting for the district or against the district on different issues. I mean, fast forward 10 years. We've got a bond proposal coming up in the city of McAllen right now, McAllen ISD.
And Sharon.
Yeah, and Sharon. And I'm looking at the data, and over time, Politiquera has morphed into like just visualizing data. It's really data and politics are my sports, man. So as much as people pay attention to fantasy football and that's what I do with politics. And so
data
turned into that
on who, where, voted. Like you have addresses, who showed up, and ding the radar.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
like which parts of the city.
So I've got the listeners can't see my screen, right? But you can, right? And I can tap on each one of the little dots on there, and it'll show you their name.
Okay,
their
so
address.
put it up to your screen here. You got a camera there in front of you.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go. So I don't want anyone to get
Politiquera.com. You will see it when people go to Politiquera.com. Will they see the map immediately? With the blue dots, or they have to click on see activity for the McAllen School Bond vote or something like that?
Politiquera.com was established, first of all, to identify who in your neighborhood had voted. And look, you have your politics and I have my politics, and they are what they are. And, regardless of that, we've been friends for 20 years, and it's the ability to have a decent conversation with each other. Well, what this site was built to do is to establish that conversation, to ask your neighbor, hey, you haven't voted yet, or hey, you have. What you're looking at when you first log in is the part that's in front of the login. So you have to have a login to get to the important stuff. And if you want to log in, just email me, drew@politiquera.com, and I'll do it. If you click on the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little icon. You can click on that, and you can create. You can ask for an account. So put in a Gmail address that you have there.
Does it have to be Gmail?
It has to be Gmail right now.
Okay.
Just
then I
'cause
won't be able to do it.
Okay, it's super simple. But once you put it in there, then it allows you to see all the data. And the data that it shows is here. Let me show you
So
this.
you put in a Gmail, you get the passcode to get in there, and then you start seeing, for example, the map in McAllen.
Correct.
Who has voted for during this McAllen ISD cycle, right?
It's actually much, much larger than that. So I have a special version of it right now that I'm doing only for the bond that's completely freely available.
Okay.
And I did that because I was sick and tired of getting text messages from my friends. So I created a website called HaveTheyVotedYet.com.
I'm surprised that no one cornered that name.
Listen,
that's genius. So HaveTheyVotedYet.com.
So if you go to HaveTheyVotedYet.com, it'll take you right to the McAllen ISD bond page. So that if people want to know, have they voted yet? They just go to HaveTheyVotedYet.com, and that'll take you in there.
Oh, I love it.
And what it will do is it will show you that. Now, let me show you real quick, Serge. I'll show you just so you can see this as we're talking. Is if I go to the bigpolitiquera.com, these are all so I'm tracking a lot of different. This is the master one. This is everything from congressmen to senators to House district to everything in between. And if you go down and you look in specific areas, once you zoom in, that's in San Juan. I'm tracking over 2 million votes in the state of Texas on this.
I noticed that
now.
when I went to the original site, politiquera.com, it had the entire state of Texas.
That's right.
And it looked like it had patches all over. So
right now, right.
So you're plugged into what, the Secretary of State's office or what?
Well, and all of it, everything.
Goodness, Ron.
So if you look, what you're seeing now,
here's the camera.
On the camera, Fred. Can you see that one back there?
All right.
I just want to call it Fred.
What is that? Is that McAllen or what is that?
Do many people know that Fred is like the unsung hero of this whole thing?
Yeah.
Just saying.
I make sure of it.
How's that? You got
right
that?
there.
Okay.
Right there. Okay.
So what you're seeing there is you're seeing a whole bunch of different dots, right? And obviously blue means the right way to vote. And red also means the right way to vote.
Okay. Foul. You need a whistle, Freddie. Foul number one.
The right way to vote, sir.
We're going to put you in the penalty box here pretty soon. All right.
So when you tap on it, like this will show you, for example, in the last general, it's going to show you that this person voted RRD.
Okay.
And it shows that they flipped
Take
to
a break.
purple.
Take a break. The reason that you're able to distinguish, this is primary election vote.
Primary. Yes.
Democrat
Yes, this is all
versus Republican.
Correct.
This address, for example, a blue dot is a Democrat, a red dot is a Republican address, Texas primary vote, which we're still in the cycle for the Texas primary because the runoff is the 26th of May.
Coming up.
So who voted, who didn't vote, all that stuff.
Correct.
Okay. Right.
Now, what's great is I can go back for as long as I can pull records for, I can go back to establish if someone votes R or D. And I can look at red versus blue across all of it and make some assumptions.
Will the software do, for example, and I learned this when I was chairman for the Republicans, people pay a good penny to have all this data dispensed to them of what the history is on that address.
100%.
Does politiquera.com just provide you the same data to see if that address has been voting Democrat forever or Republican forever or Republican recently Wow.
One of the things, and not only that, tracks voter users, or the voter identification. All this is publicly available data. This is just a way to get all of it.
It's just who takes the raw meat and provides you a hamburger for free or for a big amount of.
I'm making burgers with it right now, and there's a couple of political candidates in the Rio Grande Valley that I've been supporting with this and saying, hey, let me give you access to this. You can guess who some of them are, but you might not be able to guess who some of the other ones are.
Yeah,
Sergio Sanchez.
Really?
The other Sergio Sanchez.
Yeah.
It's great to have friends everywhere, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's a Republican.
Of course,
you're going to hell for
what are you going to do?
Not because you're supporting Republicans, you're lying.
I've voted for a few Republicans here and there.
Politiquera.com is a website. Again, you'll need to put your Gmail address to get the code to get in there, and then you can start perusing, looking at who has voted, either in the Democrat or Republican. Well, as far as the primary, you'll see the blue dots, Democrat. Red dots, Republican, all these different addresses
Purple,
in the area.
If they flipped to Democrat, or maroon if they flipped to Republican. Yeah, so you can see all that. And then you can see who hasn't voted. They turn gray if they haven't voted yet. So you can go and walk down your street. You hit the little button. It tells you where you are and shows you everyone on your block that's voted or haven't voted.
Drew, you know I love you, brother. You know I love you. You should be monetizing this. Seriously.
Well, let's talk about that. Okay, so right now, if you go to Have They Voted Yet? Man. Oh, it's so much fun, and AI makes it incredible.
Okay,
HaveTheyVotedYet.com takes you directly to the McAllen School Bond page.
Oh, okay.
And this is where it gets really fun.
Here it is. I called it up.
Yep. So what's going on now is the school bond it's not red versus blue. Granted, you can assume votes, but I'm not assuming anything. And I'm not here to say that I'm for a bond or against a bond. What I'm here to say is that the data is out there to show you how people are voting. But the fun part comes into when you start to look at with this the way that people are voting and why they're voting in that way. Go ahead.
I'm looking at an area West Xenops, East Zinnia, and Warbler, North.
Just
Fifth.
type your name in, man.
All this.
Those,
So all of these blue or red dots.
Those
of course, this is a Republican household or a Democrat house. All of these dots.
Click on one of the dots.
Have voted, right?
If you see a dot, it means they voted. And if you click
And
on
then
the dot, not only will it tell you if they voted, but try another one. Click a couple of dots. You're going to see something really cool in there. What you're looking for is on the bottom left-hand corner. There you go. You can see that they voted in the 2015 bond election. So you know that these are people that have a history of voting. So now what I want you to do is up on top, there's a little drop down. And here, I'm not used to being on the camera on the radio.
Yeah.
Okay, so click on one of those squares.
Your fly is up, right? Because
It's
right in front of you.
You know what?
So what am I looking at?
So what you're looking at now is precinct by precinct breakdown on how it did in 2015. And if you click on it, it'll tell you how it did in 2015 versus how it's doing in 2026.
As far as voters showing up.
Voters showing up and
Yes.
voters turning out. And so if you read it, what does it tell you? It's got some good information there.
Well, I tell you what, more turned out in 2015 than they did in 2026.
Yeah.
So far in this particular precinct.
So far, that's right.
Another
'Cause we-
precinct so far. Oof, this one is way behind.
Yeah.
Only 1.8%.
But it'll tell you in plain language.
That is awesome.
This precinct needs work because 78% voted no in 2015 and the voter turnout was 19%. And only 4% have turned out so far in 2026.
That is crazy.
So you can grab all this data and understand, hey, this one's underperforming or overperforming. Part of the issue here, Serge, is that the problem that we're having with this bond, whether or not you agree with it or not, is the south side of McAllen is where all of the majority of the work needs to be done on the schools. Period. Like that's a blanket statement. That's a nonpartisan statement. All those are the schools that need the most work. If you look at where the voter turnout is right now, it's
That's good
horrendous. There's places like a 100-year-old school in McAllen, and people who live in the area for that school, 19 people have showed up to vote. And the people that are carrying this election right now are 65 plus Democrats, which I know you love. 65 plus voters turn out at 7.65%, and 18 to 25 is only 0.91. There's an 8 times gap.
That is
the people
crazy.
whose kids graduated decades ago are deciding the future of the kids in school right now with an estimated 77,000 school-aged children in McAllen. Only 3,400 adults have voted. That's one for every 23 students. Predominantly on the north side of McAllen. Isn't that crazy?
McAllen school bond election is Saturday, May 2nd. Saturday, May 2nd, this is coming up. The website you should visit to see the voter turnout in your neighborhood is havetheywvotedyet.com. I want to go back to the original page. Havetheywvotedyet.com, and you'll see dots, blue dots, red dots. Those blue dots and red dots, they just dinged the radar, and they showed up and they voted. They voted. We can't tell you if they voted for or against.
There's gray dots also. So if we don't know their political affiliation based on their history
But
of
they
voting, we can show you that they voted.
Yeah, they might
This
be new to the
household
area.
That's right.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, it's
Excellent
really, it's a
work,
lot of
Drew.
fun. It's made freely available right now during early voting.
What is fascinating and what is sad is the low voter turnout so far.
It's
Which-
4.24% turnout.
Híjole.
And this breaks it down not just by in the district, it breaks it down by elementary campus, middle school, high school, but it also breaks down city commission. So you know if your city commissioners are out there doing a good job getting out the vote for the ISD.
You know how it is. Early vote is usually half or a little bit more than half the vote. And
Yep.
if you have 19% voter turnout back in 2015 versus 4-5% so
Where we're at
far,
now.
híjole.
9,000, something like 9,000 votes.
That means we can't expect
in
more than
2015.
10% turnout.
Well, we're at 3,500, más o menos right now, 3,400 right now. We've got today and tomorrow for early vote, and then we've got election day on Saturday.
Okay, and this
so
conversation Drew and I had on Monday.
Yes.
So by the time this conversation plays, more than likely on Thursday because of other stuff that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Again, this is a reminder that the election day is May 2nd.
Correct.
Saturday, May 2nd.
Something interesting here, Serge, I just want to point out.
I got about a minute left. Go ahead.
Is that we tapped in, we went back to the original genetics of why we did this. And we looked at the staff turnout from McAllen ISD. It's public data. So we scraped the website, we pulled it over and who they are and what they do. And we saw that 36% of people that I have in my database, which is a pretty significant database, 36% of the teachers that are in my database voted for this so far. 15% administrative and support. But the telling statistic for me, which is kind of interesting, is the people in facilities and operations who are tagged with titles, who work in facilities and operations, who have email addresses, who work in the McAllen ISD, only 8.7% have showed up so far. Less than
this election.
Less than 10% of the people that this bond is going to directly affect their day-to-day jobs. Like the teachers, yes, I get administrators, yes, but the people who are working on the HVAC, the people who are working on the roof, who are doing the floors, less than 10% of the people who are doing the work have actually voted on this. And that's fascinating. These are statistics I want to keep up with. So let's see where it goes.
Magnificent work, Drew, as always, brother. HaveTheyVotedYet.com. Go look at it, especially you guys in McAllen. Go see if your neighbor has voted. See if your family has voted. You can go specifically, and you'll see those dots. Those dots that you see, blue or red, that's because in the primary, they either voted Democrat or Republican. That's why they're blue or red, or they're changing hues. And you'll see. And then you go do a deeper dive on
there's everything
on
in
the bar that's on top, on voters, opportunities. You can see the 2015 and do comparison on 2015 bond.
And when the big election happens, visit Politiquera.com and you can watch and track Congress elections, statewide elections, all that stuff is available at Politiquera.com.
Great work, Drew. God
Thanks,
bless
man.
you for it.
It's a lot of fun.
Drew Lentz, again, Politiquera.com. The website you need to look for if you're in McAllen for the bond, HaveTheyVotedYet.com, or in Sharyland, same thing, Sharyland. HaveTheyVotedYet.com, right?
Yep. The most important thing to remember, Serge, and you know this, is vote. You don't have a vote, you don't have a voice.
Absolutely.
I don't care who you, I do care who you vote for, but I have a preference, but I prefer that you go vote more than anything.
Yeah, you don't have an excuse to whine and complain
Totally
if
agree
you
with
don't
you.
show up. All right. That's HaveTheyVotedYet.com. Creator Drew Lentz. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Right. Election day is this Saturday for local elections, for school districts, and some city elections. So you need to vote this coming Saturday. Got to vote 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV, your station for Astros baseball. Check of sports up next.
They said copies for a penny couldn't be done. We said, watch us. Total Imaging Solutions. We're flipping the script on printing. Whether you're a small business or a big operation, it doesn't matter. If you need a printer or copier, Total Imaging Solutions has the right printer for you. You get the printer for a simple monthly fee and copies, just a penny or less a page. No ink or toner charges. No surprise service fees, just clear, honest pricing. And if your old printer's slowing you down, we'll trade it out and level you up. Whether you print just a couple of copies a day or need the next New York Times press, we can help. Plus, if anything ever breaks, our team will have you up and running in under 4 hours. Easy printing, fast service, real savings. That's the penny or less revolution. Call 956-664-2113 or visit copiesforapenny.com. That's copiesforapenny.com. Total Imaging Solutions, helping your business one penny at a time.
I love the experience of walking into a store that has stuff that interests me. As you're standing there, you can tell that these guys are passionate about what's happening there. That's exactly how it feels at South Texas Outdoor Kitchens. Over 10 manufacturers of different barbecue grills and smokers, and each one of those has another 10 in its lineup that does anything that you can imagine. Big Green Eggs, Traeger pellet grills, the selection is excellent and the experience is unlike anything else. I mean, I never knew I was going to enjoy smoking out of a Pits and Spits smoker. I never even heard of it, but what a game changer to my outdoor cooking arsenal. And endless aisles of spices, marinating devices, cutting boards, things you don't even know exist. Different appurtenances to help you discover that master outdoor chef that lives inside of you. You simply don't know what you don't know, but you can learn. Come walk the store and see what we've got going on at South Texas Outdoor Kitchens. South Texas Outdoor Kitchens on the expressway across from the Shrine.
Coming up after the Valley's Morning News, stay tuned for the Sergio Show starting at 9, followed by the Dana Lash Show at 11 on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Potami app.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The Houston Rockets stayed alive in Game 5 against the Los Angeles Lakers last night, winning by a score of 99-93. Down by 8 towards the end of the first quarter, the Rockets went on a massive 20-8 run to take the lead. With a win, the Rockets now trail in the series 3-2, and they'll be able to come back home for Game 6 at the Toyota Center. The Rockets will try to stave off elimination once again tomorrow night. The Texas Rangers got a shutout win versus the New York Yankees yesterday, 3-0. It was a pitcher's duel back and forth, and Nathan Eovaldi allowed just 4 hits and struck out 7 batters in 7 scoreless innings. Josh Young opened up the scoring in the bottom of the 5th inning with this 2-run RBI single.
Cruz to the plate. A swing and a ground ball, base hit through the whole left side. 1 run home. Here comes Duran. Here's the throw to the plate. He dives head first, and he's safe. It's a 2-run single for Josh Young.
Clip courtesy of Eric Nadel and the Rangers Radio Network. With a win, the Rangers avoid the sweep against the Yankees. Their record now stands at 15-16 on the season, putting them 1 game behind the Athletics for first place in the AL West. With your Texas in the Morning Sports Report, I'm Adam C.
Good to see a handful of folks reaching out, sending messages. Look, long story short, the best I can tell you, that conversation with Drew Lentz, producer Freddie will post as a standalone conversation. Actually, producer Joe's working on it right now. So look for it on X, on Facebook, on YouTube, 710KURV. Look for the brand. Yeah, I agree. Dan checked in and said, amazing information. I wish tens of thousands of people say, hey, we're going to go check it out. I'm grateful for the handful checking in saying, go get it at X, YouTube, Facebook, 710KURV, that conversation with Drew Lentz on that amazing work that he's done, that website showing you who voted, who hasn't voted in the area. AccuWeather says, highs today, low to mid-90s. Same thing tomorrow. Got a cool front on the way, though. Highs on Saturday. Check this out. Highs on Saturday in the 70s as a result of the cold front. Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. If you're headed back to the McAllen area, it's close to an hour and a half at the Hidalgo Bridge, 45 minutes at the other two. And if you're headed back to Brownsville, it's an hour and a half at B&M and Gateway, 30 at Los Indios, south of Harlingen, 45 at Veterans. Business news, check of your money. That's next on 710 KURV, the Valley's Morning News.
Cat tax, cat tax, cat tax, cat tax. Are your property taxes too high? Well, you can kiss that money goodbye until you call cat tax. Oh yeah, we save money for you. Cat tax, cat tax. Call cat tax, cat tax. No savings, no fees. Call 631-SAVE. Cat tax, cat tax, cat tax, cat tax.
If your property taxes are too high, you don't have to just kiss your money goodbye. Not with CAD Tax on your side. CAD Tax, they do all the work and you save all that money. If they don't win, you don't pay. No savings, no fee. There's nothing to lose. That's the CAD Tax guarantee. Call 631-SAVE.
No savings, no fee. That's a written guarantee. Cat tax, cat tax, cat tax, cat tax.
Steve Valdez is Director for Economic Development for our city of Weslaco.
When I'm thinking economic development of late, I'm thinking airport.
Yeah, the location is great. It's centrally located in the region of South Texas. They've got a $27 million funding that came to them recently. In the EDC side, we use that as a promotional tool as much as we can.
What are some of the highlights, job creators for Weslaco?
$80 million in construction going on right now in the city of Weslaco. Of course, Sam's Club is the big win for us. They're almost half of the total cost of that $80 million in just one project. They're bringing 200 jobs. We have probably one of the most accessible historic downtowns in the region. We are in the process of acquiring a company to do a downtown urban development plan that'll get us into the next few years of how we lay out our downtown.
Steve Valdez is the Director for Economic Development Efforts for our city of Weslaco.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
Monica Murray with Your Money Now. SoftBank is planning a $100 billion AI spinoff to build data centers and robotic systems. The Financial Times reports the new entity will reportedly focus on building data centers and using robotics to improve the efficiency of AI infrastructure construction. Samsung posted record profit growth driven by demand for AI-linked memory. Chip shortages lifted prices, boosting earnings across the memory segment. The AI boom strengthened Samsung's position in the high-bandwidth memory market. Shares of SoFi plunged more than 15% after the company declined to raise its full-year outlook, a move CEO Anthony Noto said reflects macro reality, not weakening fundamentals. Noto told CNBC, quote, "When we originally gave the full-year guidance, we were anticipating at least 2 Federal Reserve rate cuts. Now we're assuming there will be none." Futures are moderately higher, boosted by strong earnings results and declining oil prices. Wednesday, the Dow Industrials lost 280. That's Your Money Now.
AccuWeather says highs today should be low to mid 90s. Same thing tomorrow, but mid 90s. Cold front, cool front on the way, so maybe with some rain as early as tomorrow evening. And highs on Saturday in the 70s. That's beautiful. Should be around 80 for Sunday. This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV, and we got Fox News coming up in 2 minutes. Find us online at Radio Para Mi, the free app, and listen on your smartphone.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in McAllen at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
As a conservative, ask yourself, who is the most qualified to represent me in Austin? My name is Sergio Sanchez. I'm a Republican candidate for House District 41, former prosecutor. I'm happy to announce 2 new endorsements, the Hidalgo County Young Republicans, also the Rio Grande Valley Republican Men. I want to make very clear that I am against this new school bond proposal in the area of $335 million. Add the interest to that, and we are over $500 million. My opponent on the Republican side has completely stayed silent on the issue. I'm the only one in this field that has come out against it. This is an out-of-control money grab. My opponent in the primary side has introduced a new tax that he wishes to create, the value-added tax. This comes from socialist countries in Western Europe. Anybody on fixed income, this sort of tax hurts you. House District 41, Republican primary. The runoff dates, early voting, May 18th through the 22nd. The runoff election day is May the 26th. Life, liberty, and property, that's the foundation of my campaign. This ad paid for by the Sergio Sanchez campaign.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Information to start your day.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
The pulse of the 956 News Talk 710 KURV. Happy Thursday. Final day of April. Look at that, Freddie. Final day of April. Already. Here comes May. Wow. Final approach to hurricane season in about a month. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, and we got AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. Keeping things hot. Should be mid-90s today, tomorrow. Cold front on the way. Cool front. Highs on Saturday in the 70s, says AccuWeather. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, Chris Foster. President Trump says no to a proposal from Iran.
There will never be a deal
unless they agree that there will be no nuclear weapons.
Defiance from Iran.
A written statement from the Supreme Leader this morning, though, says Iran is not backing down, vowing to protect its nuclear program as a national asset, and saying, quote, the only place Americans belong in the Persian Gulf is at the bottom of the waters as the Strait of Hormuz remains in Tehran's chokehold.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. The price of gas this morning, $4.30 a gallon, according to AAA, up 27 cents from a week ago. Fox confirms the Secret Service officer at the White House Correspondents' Dinner who was shot was hit in his bulletproof vest by buckshot fired by suspect Cole Allen's 12-gauge shotgun, not friendly fire. Allen appears in federal court at 11 a.m. Eastern for a detention hearing. America's listening to Fox News.
The U.S. Supreme Court yesterday said that race-based congressional districts, congressional seats based on race are a no-no. The U.S. Supreme Court ruling on redistricting could boost Republican and conservative chances in Congress. The High Court justices blocked Louisiana from creating a second black majority district. So the ruling will make it more difficult to challenge political maps nationwide simply on the basis of race. Back to the Valley. The U.S. Department of State has issued an advisory for folks here in Texas, any travelers to Reynosa, government employees going to Reynosa. Try to avoid Reynosa for now.
The American consulate in Brownsville is warning government employees and U.S. citizens not to travel across the border into the Mexican state of Tamaulipas for fear of heightened criminal activity. State Department officials say armed criminal groups are increasingly patrolling the area just across the border from Brownsville and McAllen, Texas. They've issued a level 4 advisory for, quote, terrorism, crime, and kidnapping, following reports of increased activity of cartels or gangs, including impromptu roadblocks that are overwhelming the abilities of local law enforcement there.
It's 13 minutes to the hour on the Valley's Morning News. There is a push to change how Texas colleges are accredited. Here's Michael Board.
Teachers at both Texas A&M and Texas Tech who are upset at changes made by the state's GOP leadership are planning to file complaints with the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. This is why some in Austin have been trying to create a new accreditation agency.
Take advantage of a more competitive accreditation marketplace created by changes made by the Trump administration.
State Senator Brent Hagenbusch pushed it last session. Accreditation is important because it allows students access to federal loans and grants and makes it easier to transfer credits.
It's 13 to the hour on the Valley's Morning News. You're planning on summer travel? Well, you'll be joining a lot of people.
Surveys show almost 80% of Americans are planning at least one trip this summer, and a lot of folks are getting back to the classic road trip routine thanks to steady gas prices. Airports are bracing for record crowds too, especially for beach spots and national parks. So you can expect those security lines to stretch out a bit, and people are budgeting more, around $2,000 per traveler, mostly because hotels and flights are still running high. So if you're heading out this summer, plan early, expect crowded terminals, and monitor the weather. I'm Monica Nelson.
Self-driving car companies have one more month to get authorized to commercially work in Texas before new regulations kick in. And if you're traveling, Uber might help you with the complete travel package.
Uber is now partnering with the travel site Expedia to let riders book hotel rooms via the app. Uber's CEO says the updated platform is now an app for everything. Uber users will have access to more than 700,000 hotel listings as a way to help reduce the number of steps for travel. Uber riders will get reminders to schedule rides and see options for Uber Eats room service that can deliver food along with any forgotten items directly to your hotel. I'm Rory O'Neill.
Thank you much for joining us on News Talk 710 KURV. Find us at the free app that is called Radio Para Mi and listen to the morning news at Radio Para Mi, 710 KURV.
Hi there, my name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison.
I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We